Are you still not done with your part-time job? It's already 4 in the afternoon. Shouldn't you head home and tend to household chores?
I'm sorry, Camilla. I have to work overtime a bit. I'll go shopping at the supermarket and then head home.
Are you still going to be late?
Yes. I want to buy ingredients for tonight's dinner.
You're really inefficient, aren't you? Can't you make do with the ingredients we have at home?
Didn't you say you wanted flounder simmered for dinner today?
That was yesterday. I don't really want it now.
I see. But we're out of milk, so I think I'll stop by.
Oh, I see. Then hurry back. I've left the housework for you to do. Please fold the laundry. You haven't cleaned the bathroom and the toilet yet, have you?
Understood.
I brought in the laundry for you, you know. It's actually your job.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
I thought you were more capable, Alina. That's why I allowed you to work part-time. But if you're going to burden me like this, I might have to forbid you from working part-time.
I'll be careful. From now on, I'll finish cleaning before leaving for work.
You're a daughter-in-law in this family. Try to anticipate and do things. It's too late if you wait for me to tell you.
Yes.
And there's something I've been thinking about lately. Don't you dress too flashy?
Do you think so? I thought it was just like any other outfit.
You wore a skirt the other day, didn't you? When you went out with my son. That fluttery one.
Yes.
It's indecent to wear something so flirtatious to attract men. You're a wife. Don't wear things that show your legs to other men.
But I think that skirt was down to the knee.
Whether it's down to the knee or not, your legs were visible, weren't they? And the light pink color is vulgar.
I see. I'm sorry, I'll be careful.
Dress more like a wife. Pay attention to your makeup and hair. You look like someone from the nightlife industry.
Camilla, I think that's a bit of disrespectful remark.
If you don't want to be seen that way, dress more modestly. No one is looking at you, even if you don't wear makeup.
No, I mean, with my looks, I couldn't work in the nightlife industry. Professionals were much more careful.
That's not what I'm talking about. Never mind. Conversations with you always seem to go awry.
I'm sorry.
Please don't add to my stress anymore. Just hurry home and do the housework. Hey, Alina. When are you guys coming home?
We just left with my husband. We'll be late today. It's our day off and we're going to eat dinner outside too.
Come home right now.
What happened?
My dear daughter Maya is having a hard time.
Did something happen to Maya?
Apparently, Maya is being bullied by her mother-in-law at her husband's house.
Bullying the daughter-in-law. That's worrisome.
From morning to evening, she's being worked hard by her mother-in-law. And she's been forced to do all the housework by herself. Despite this, she's still not being treated as a member of the family. She was the only one left behind during a family trip. She couldn't bear it any longer and called me for advice just a while ago.
Is that so? Things must be tough on her end.
I'm thinking about calling her mother-in-law, but Maya told me not to. I really don't know what to do.
Bullying a daughter-in-law is a delicate issue. I think it would be best for you, the mother-in-law, not to do anything.
But I can't stand by and do nothing. I can't leave my daughter alone in that house. And it seems the mother-in-law said she was a useless wife. Can you believe it? My daughter, who I raised with such care.
I see.
Hey, you'll come home right away, won't you? I think we need to discuss this as a family. Please tell my son that his sister Maya is in trouble.
I am already telling my husband exactly what you told me. But Maya isn't coming here, is she?
Yes, that's true.
But even if my husband comes home, it won't solve anything. So he says we should continue with our plans.
Doesn't he care about Maya? Alina, you're in the same position as a wife. You should understand, right?
Yes, I suppose so.
That's why men are useless in situations like this. Apparently Maya's husband is turning a blind eye.
It must be hard not having emotional support.
Maya is a girl who can be proud of anywhere. I wonder what they don't like about her. If Maya were my daughter-in-law, I would be nothing but grateful.
Well, you're Maya's real mother.
What? Are you saying there's a problem with Maya?
No, not like that. Being the wife of a son might be a delicate position for a mother-in-law. I don't have children, so I can't understand the feeling.
If you don't know, don't say anything. But you're glad I'm your mother-in-law, aren't you, Alina? Even on your day off, you can go out and play with my son. I feel sorry for Maya, who didn't get a good mother-in-law. Hey, should I take her back home?
First of all, I think Maya's feelings are the most important. So it would be best to contact her before taking any action.
That's true. Our house is the only place Maya can rely on. I need to be strong. But it's really infuriating. Only the worst people bully their daughters-in-law.
I agree. I think so too.
I'll call Maya again. She must be at her limit, so I'll try to convince her to come home somehow.
Understood.
And when Maya comes home, make sure you give her proper support, okay, Alina? I want her to take a break and not to do anything for a while. Even if Maya offers to help, don't let her do even a single chore, okay?
Understood. I want to confirm with you, Camilla. It's better to escape from a mother-in-law who bullies her daughter-in-law, right?
Of course. Living together is difficult enough, but bullying the daughter-in-law on top of that is the worst.
Understood. Thank you. I will act according to your words.
Good morning, Alina.
Maya, good morning. What's up?
You're at your parents' house now, right?
Yes, that's it.
I heard you left home, Alina. It's because I came back, isn't it? I'm really sorry for returning when we're living together. It must not feel good for you.
No, that's not it.
Huh? Then why? My mother was also surprised that I suddenly left.
I also escaped from bride bullying Hag, so it's the same reason as Maya. It's not your fault.
Did you say bride bullying Hag? You're talking about my mother, aren't you?
Yes, it's hard to say to my daughter Maya, but I was quite at the limit too. But hearing about Maya's situation, my mother-in-law said that only the worst kind of person bullies their daughters-in-law. I thought to myself, even though she's doing it herself. I discussed it with my husband and decided to leave. Sorry for the misunderstanding.
Is that so? My mother, who criticized her mother-in-law so much, she was doing the same thing.
That's why I have no intention of returning there anymore, so Maya doesn't have to worry. Your mother is kind to you. You should take it easy until you calm down.
I can't calm down. My own mother is bullying her daughter-in-law. Alina, what kind of bullying did my mother do to you? I understand that you may not want to talk about it, but please tell me.
I don't think you would feel good hearing this.
I'm fine with that. Please.
Then it's going to be a long story. Is it okay if we talk over the phone?
Yes, it's okay. My mother is not at home now, so please tell me everything. Elena, what on earth have you done? Why did you plant strange ideas in my daughter's mind?
Huh? What are you talking about?
You talked about how I bullied my daughter-in-law, didn't you?
Yes.
So you're affirming it. Why would you do such a thing? My daughter has just returned home, hurt by the bullying from her mother-in-law. Don't you have any consideration for others? And you even said that the reason you left the house is because of me.
That's exactly right. I left the house because I couldn't stand your daughter-in-law bullying. But that's okay, right? You said that I don't have to bear it either.
That's about Maya's story. It doesn't concern you, does it?
If it's about daughter-in-law bullying, it's not irrelevant to me. You've been making nasty remarks and harassment to me every day, haven't you?
Me? When? Where did I do that?
Even though we lived together, you pushed all the housework onto me. Isn't this the same as Maya's situation?
I did the housework too.
Does putting away the laundry you occasionally dry count as doing housework?
I also cook, don't I?
Are you referring to the times you threw away the food I cooked? Or called it tasteless and turned it into trash by adding excessive seasoning?
I also clean.
You mean just your own bedroom, right? I clean everything else. I wake up early in the morning to clean the bathroom and toilet, mop and sweep the floors. I can only use the vacuum cleaner on days without part-time work because it's noisy early in the morning. I also run the laundry, cook for the family, do the dishes, and finally go out. So what are you saying you're doing?
It's only natural for a daughter-in-law living together to do housework.
Maybe Maya's mother-in-law thought the same way. Isn't it the same thing?
I didn't treat you like an outsider.
When you returned from a trip with your friends, I was the only one without a souvenir, wasn't I?
I kind of forgot about that.
What about the sweets you buy when you go out? There's always none for me, right? Even the other day when you bought cake. What's up with that?
That's because I bought it for my hardworking husband and son.
To me, it sounds like an excuse. You've also called me a useless daughter-in-law. And you even made a sarcastic remark during a previous family trip, saying, "Are you planning to come too?" I think you've been doing quite similar things to Maya.
I didn't mean any harm. I didn't do it out of malice like Maya's mother-in-law.
Then why don't you bully your daughter-in-law in front of your husband or father-in-law? You always do it when we're alone or during text exchanges, don't you?
Is that so?
Yes, it is. Do you forget things that are inconvenient for you? But don't worry, I reported everything to my husband. I showed him the text messages too.
You've been talking to her son as well?
Of course, he's my husband.
But her son hasn't said anything to me. I haven't been warned or anything about the bullying.
I asked him not to say anything. We lived together and I wanted to get along with you as much as possible. But then I realized something from Maya's situation. There is such a thing as futile effort. While you were ignoring your own actions, you were criticizing mother-in-law bullying. Somehow that broke my spirit.
Elena, listen. I didn't mean to bully you. I just wanted you to be a good daughter-in-law and was trying to give you various advice.
So Maya's mother-in-law might have thought the same way. What I want to say is that you're not a mother-in-law who can criticize others. Please reconsider your own actions first.
Elena, I'm sorry. I apologize for everything until now. So won't you come back home?
No, I won't. I will end the cohabitation. The whole reason for the cohabitation was your request in the first place. I don't want to put myself through unnecessary hardships anymore.
All right, let's end the cohabitation. But can you forgive me in return? I've been severely criticized by my son and daughter about the mother-in-law bullying. They've even told me to leave the house.
That's what you get.
I've truly reflected. I'll be a good mother-in-law from now on. So please, I'm begging you.
Can you say that in front of Maya? Can you tell Maya to forgive her mother-in-law's bullying?
I think I'm a bit different from that mother-in-law.
The fact that you can say such a thing shows you haven't reflected at all. I have no obligation to help you. You should be more aware that you are a terrible person who bullies your daughter-in-law. Afterwards, my mother-in-law, accompanied by my father-in-law and sister-in-law, came to apologize to my parents' house. Of course, I didn't forgive her, but she promised not to interfere with me outside of life's major events. So I let them know that I had no particular desire for her to leave the house. My sister-in-law scolded my mother-in-law thoroughly, so I don't think the same thing will happen again. Having been exposed for her behind-the-scenes harassment, my mother-in-law had become completely subdued and has been earnestly taking on the housework that I used to do. I may have been better off complaining earlier, but I was living with them, and if possible, I wanted to be liked by my husband's parents, so I think I ended up enduring too much unnecessarily. But from now on, I have no intention of looking to my mother-in-law's moods. Even if we have to face each other, I plan to do so without any reservations. In addition, it seems that my sister-in-law and her husband have also stopped living with us and moved out. We both discussed how glad we are that things are moving in a better direction for both of us. I will not forget to appreciate my husband, who supported me behind the scenes during the harassment, and my sister-in-law and father-in-law, who firmly scolded my mother-in-law. I want to cherish those who will continue to care about me.
Jane, honey, would you be a dear and pick me up some things from the supermarket? Huh? Mom? What do you mean? You want me to go to the supermarket for you? Yes, please. It would be quite helpful if you did. I just need a few things. But Mom, why are you asking me this? You know that I live more than an hour away from you. It's not that far away, barely an hour. Besides, I'm your mom, so you should want to help me out, right? I'm not as young as you anymore, so I don't have the same kind of energy. Look, Mom, I would help you out if I could, but I just can't spare the time to travel to a grocery store. Spend time getting all the things you want, and then drive an hour to your house to drop them off, and then another hour back to college. I have a really important test tomorrow, so I'm getting as much studying in as I can before calling it a night. I need to be ready, so I'm sorry, but if you want anything from the shop, you're just going to have to get it yourself. Oh, I see how it is. Fine then. If you don't want to help your mom, I get it. No problem. I'll just head out to the shop by myself. Although, mind you, I can't drive there as my car hasn't got enough gas and all the gas stations will be closed soon, so I can't go and fill up again and I need the petrol I have to get to work tomorrow. So, I guess I'll just have to take the bus, which, at this time of night, isn't the safest thing to do, but oh well. It's just what I'll have to do as you can't be bothered to come and help me. Not to mention that when I'm actually shopping and walking down the streets on my own, a single woman like me, all by herself, is a prime target for muggers. But I guess I'll just have to pray that nothing happens to me when I go out. After all, I need to go to the shop, so I'll just have to brave the night by myself. If I disappear or something happens to me, don't blame yourself. Your test is obviously important. Much more important than your mother. So you won't need to feel bad if something happens to me. Okay, I get it. I'll go to the stupid shop for you. What do you need? Oh, thank you, sweetie. I knew that you'd help me out. Okay, I've made a list, so I'll just send a photo of it over to you. Did you get it? What on earth is this, Mom? I thought you said that you just needed a few things. This is an entire 2-page shopping list. It's going to take me at least an hour to get everything on the list. There are even some things that the closest supermarket doesn't have. I'd have to go to a completely different one, which is even further away. There's simply no way that I can get all this for you. I'll get the essentials, but everything else you'll have to get yourself tomorrow. What? But you're going to the shop anyway, so you might as well just get everything on the list. It will save me a trip tomorrow. No, I don't have the time nor the patience to get it all. Whatever I deem as not essential, I'm not getting. Fine, at least get me the bottle of wine I asked for, and my cigarettes. Yeah, because they're essential. Oi, don't get snarky with me. I'm your mother. Okay, fine. Jeez. Alright, you know my bank details, so you can just send me the money over and I'll get what I can with however much you sent. Please send me a little bit extra for the gas costs, as it's going to cost a little bit to do all this driving to and from yours. What? Hey, I thought that you could just get this stuff for me. I mean, as your mom, I've got you lots of stuff throughout your life. Don't you think that it's about time that you start repaying me for all of that? What? You're not serious, are you? Of course I am. Mom, as a parent, it was your responsibility to look after me, which included buying me the necessary things to keep me alive and healthy. I'd happily buy you some things, but the shopping is going to cost at least $70, and that's not even counting the gas. That's just something I can't afford right now, especially being a college student. I'm already in a load of debt as it is, and I'm barely able to afford my own food and essentials. There's no way I can pay for yours as well. You're so ungrateful. I mean, I've spent the last 20 years of my life taking care of you and spending all of my money on you, and you can't even get me a little bit of shopping? What's the point of even having you if you won't look after me in my older age? Wow. Thanks a lot, Mom. That's a really nice thing to say. Well, it's the truth. $70 isn't even that much. Then why can't you pay for it? Because I don't want to. I was going to use that money to get my nails done. So, stop being so difficult and just go and buy my shopping. Got it? You can have a biscuit or something when you get here as payment. A biscuit? Seriously? I've got biscuits right here at my apartment. I don't need to make a 2-hour round trip just for that. Jane, just do what I say. You know what? Forget it. I'm not going to get your shopping for you with how you're treating me now. It's late. I've got a very important test tomorrow which will basically decide whether I graduate or not. And I'm not about to spend my time running around after someone who doesn't even care. If you want your shopping, go and get it yourself. Good night. Jane, don't you dare. Get back here, young lady. You need to do what I say because I'm your mom. You hear me? Jane! Hey, Sarah, are you there?
Jane? Hey, is everything okay? Kind of late.
Yeah, everything's fine. It's just, Mom has really annoyed me.
Oh, I see. What's happened?
Well, I was studying for my test tomorrow when she suddenly messaged me asking me to pick some shopping up for her.
She wanted you to go shopping at this time of night? But aren't you like an hour away at college?
Yeah, I said no at first, but then she started trying to guilt trip me into it. Basically saying that if she got hurt or whatever because she went and did it, then it would be all my fault. How unfair and manipulative is that?
Please tell me you've not actually gone and done it for her. It would be really stupid of you if you did.
I was going to, because she made me feel so awful about not doing it, but then she just got really nasty. She expected me to pay for all of her shopping, and then when I said no, she started saying what was the point in having me if I wouldn't look after her. After that, I told her to get her own shopping and just ignored her. She's still blowing up my phone, but I'm not answering it.
Oh, hang on. She's just messaged me now. She's trying to make it sound like you were horrible to her and that she's the victim in all of this.
That's not true at all.
Don't worry, I don't believe her. I had to deal with her for 8 years before you came along. I know what she's like. Why do you think I basically have nothing to do with her now?
I just wish that there was a way to give her a taste of her own medicine or something. Or at least get her to stop harassing us so much. Do you know that I actually still help her out with rent, even though I've got my own bills to deal with? I just felt bad when I was moving out because she doesn't have anyone else to help financially since Dad left.
Hang on, you still help her with her rent? How much do you pay?
I pay roughly half. She pays the other half.
Is that right? Because, funnily enough, I also pay half of her rent to help out.
Are you actually kidding me?
Nope. This entire time, she has been playing the both of us, making it seem like she has no money and needs help. When in reality, we've been paying for her house and she's been using her money to do whatever she wants with it.
Well then, I think we both know what we need to do.
You've got that right.
Hey Jane, I could really do with that rent money right now. The landlord will be taking it the next couple of days, so yeah, I could really do with that. I don't know why you're so late, to be honest. That's not very responsible. Oh, hi Mom. Yes, my test went well. Thanks for asking. Yeah, whatever. No one cares about a stupid test. I need the rent money, otherwise I won't be able to afford to live in my house. I'll be kicked out and left on the streets. You don't want that to happen to me, do you? Actually, what's happened to you and your house is no longer my problem. Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not paying for your rent for you anymore.
What? You can't do that.
Actually, I think you'll find that I can, considering you're the only one on the lease. It's your responsibility to make the payments on the house.
But why? Why are you suddenly not going to help me out with rent? Don't you love me anymore?
There, that is exactly why I'm not going to help you.
Huh?
All you do is manipulate me to try and get your way. I know that you don't actually pay for your house at all.
I don't know what you're on about.
Oh, please. I talked to Sarah the other day and we both found out that you've been using us to pay your rent. I pay half thinking that you're paying half, when in fact Sarah is paying the other half. You get a house for free and can spend your money however you want, whilst me and Sarah are forced to scrimp and save to try and even get the essentials in day-to-day life. Well, we're not going to let this go on any longer.
Hang on. I admit that maybe I've not been entirely truthful with you and your sister, but that doesn't mean that you have to stop helping me altogether. We're family. Surely we can sort something out. How about we each pay a third of the rent? That would be fair, wouldn't it?
No, Mom. You've lied and cheated me and Sarah enough. We're done with doing what you say. You're just a horrible manipulator and we really don't need someone like that in our life anymore.
What do you mean?
Not only are me and Sarah not giving you another dollar, we're also cutting you out of our lives for good.
Hang on.
No, we're done. Never message me again. If I decide to give you a second chance, then I will message you. But for now, I don't want you trying to talk to me.
Well, what am I supposed to do then? Who will get me the things like my shopping when I ask or help me with the rent?
That's a problem you're going to have to figure out on your own. Goodbye.
Jane, you get back here right now. I can't pay this rent myself. I demand you help me. Jane.
True to my word, I cut my mom off as soon as I finished our conversation. I blocked her on all of my devices, and since then, my life has gotten so much better. I'm no longer stressed out with her demanding ridiculous things at the drop of a hat. I also have a lot more money, as I'm no longer paying for her house. I have since graduated from college and have started a new job at a local veterinarian practice. Things are definitely going well for me. As for my mom, well, I don't know much to be honest. When I said that I didn't want to deal with her, I meant it. Sarah tells me that she sees her around every now and then, but she avoids her as best as possible. As far as I know, she had to stop renting the house which she was in, as she simply couldn't afford it. She's now moved into a smaller flat which is more in her budget. Children should be had because you truly love them and want to share your love with them. They are not a way to ensure your care when you're older, or to be your bank account.